One. What is going on, guys? And welcome to another episode of the 5-1 Formation podcast. It is episode 34, and we got a special guest today, Justin Marino. What's going on, buddy?
Not much. How about you?
I'm good, bro. I'm good. Guys, Antonio couldn't make it because the man's is vacationing.
He's enjoying a well-deserved vacation.
Well-deserved vacation. You know, he worked. He did work. Yeah, he's been working through the pandemic too.
Yeah.
But he's on vacation, and sitting in for him is our friend JC. So JC, just tell us a bit about yourself, how you got into football, who do you like, who do you support?
Okay, just like my cousin Anthony over here, a big Juve fan. It's basically running in the family, something that's been going on for generations. But for me personally, it all started with Euro 2000. That was when I really started getting into foot. I've been playing since I was about 5 years old, but in Euro 2000 was where I really started to follow the international game, and from there, Juve had more than half of the Italian players.
So you're Italian, right?
I guess you could say that. I guess you could say
I guess you could say that.
Yeah. All right. So Juve.
Juve, yes.
Okay. All right. That's good, man. That's good. All right. So, guys, we're just gonna get right into it. Ligue 1. Well, not really Ligue 1. They had the
French,
the FFF or whatever you want to call it. PSG. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just.
Don't worry about it. We're following.
I'm not trying to make fun of them or anything like that. But in PSG fashion, super dominant. They ended up winning only 1-0, I think.
Okay.
But the whole talk about that game was the horror tackle on Kylian Mbappe, the captain for
Loic Perrin, I think his name is.
Loic Perrin. Came in and scissored his leg. So now he's going to be out for 3 weeks. Mm-hmm. I just wanted to talk a bit about the tackle itself because we kind of did have a conversation in the group chat like when it happened. For me, a lot of people were saying that it was a horror tackle, but if you do slow it down and look into it, I've seen worse.
I think in the heat of the moment, I was just so upset because it's I think it was the last game before his Champions League game.
Yeah.
And I was just come on, man. He's been playing this whole time in friendlies. Everything was going well, and then he plays now into this cup and he gets injured. So I think that's why I was a bit emotional about the tackle. But
you weren't the only one because they ended up scrapping it out, the whole team. There was a whole bunch of pushing, shoving. Marquinhos came flying. Mm-hmm. And so did the other goalie from the other team.
He still ended up on his back.
Yeah.
Wasn't needed to tackle.
That's the point, is that it wasn't needed to go like that.
But it's a cup final, and he was the last man. And he didn't come in from behind; he came in from the side. This is the argument that I'm trying to make here, because a lot of people at first initially it's a shock. He came in, he scissored his legs, but if you look closely, he comes in from the side, and he almost gets a touch on the ball. It's just that Mbappe is just so quick and the micro touch that he took. He ended up flicking the ball right over his foot, and then he just ended up scissoring his leg.
I think more, like I said before, was just put into the tackle because he's gonna miss the Champions League game. And if that wasn't the case, I don't think you would have seen as much news as was going out.
So reports are saying that he's gonna miss 3 weeks with a sprained ankle. It looked like a pretty serious sprain if you saw it in slow motion.
He was walking on crutches after the game too. So
he was walking on crutches. I just hope that he recovers quick because you know what? I'm pretty sure PSG will do fine against Atalanta without him, but we'll see.
Atalanta have been on a nice run though.
Yeah,
absolutely.
They've been on fire.
Yeah. They're not a force to be reckoned with. So they definitely are a force to be reckoned with.
But we know what you're saying.
They're not meant to be underestimated.
Absolutely.
Especially with him out. Obviously Neymar's gonna lead the way, but they better be on their toes because they're gonna fucking come flying, man.
Yep. The only thing about Atalanta that I want to say is I hope that last year they had made a nice run, and I was saying I hope they keep the same team. They did, but this year they made an even bigger run, and now it's an even bigger question about who are they actually going to keep. So the guys like Gomez, I think is going to stay. I think he's old enough. I can't see him going anywhere else. No. But guys like Zapata, Ilicic might stay as well.
He's older too than Gomez. Ilicic.
Oh
Isn't
shit!
he?
Okay, he might be actually. I think he's like a year older or something. You might be right.
They're 32.
Yeah, they're both 32.
Yeah, even they're all like
In their
they're
30s.
right now it's their prime years.
Prime
Ilicic
years.
is 32. Gomez as well. I can check.
They're a nice team though. I watched them a couple of times and they're.
I think they'd add more than
32
selling
as well.
players.
Yeah.
32 as well. So I'm assuming Muriel also is in. He's not young.
He's not young either. He's been around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
He was young, and when he was considered. He's probably about 30
he's
now.
20. He's 29. Okay.
Probably
Yeah.
about 30.
I was gonna say late 20s.
Well,
Late 20s.
these are their prime years.
That's a
right
nice game though. PSG Atalanta. I think that's gonna be should be a nice
High-scoring.
high-scoring game.
Yeah.
High scoring all out.
Unless Kaylor comes out of his old Champions League self.
He probably will. He's
But
a solid goalkeeper.
He's a solid keeper, man. Honestly, I used to talk a lot of shit before, but he shut me up a lot of times, and he proved me wrong,
Like,
especially
even for Costa Rica, like
in the tournaments. Yeah.
when they were
Hey,
playing
speaking of goalkeepers, okay, let me say something here, okay? Because I got told by a friend today that I should apologize to a certain someone, and I'm gonna apologize to Thibaut Courtois because at the beginning of the podcast in the first couple of episodes, I was shitting on this guy.
Really?
Oh yeah. I was saying my 200-pound self can fucking goalkeep better than he can. And he shut me up with the second half of the season coming out with 18 clean sheets. And I think he beat the record by like 4 games or it was something crazy. I think it was like... Anyways, he beat the record. Nonetheless, he killed it second part. So he shut me up. That's all I'm going to say about the goalkeeper situation.
Well, your boy Ederson
Oh, yeah.
ended up getting the Golden
Did.
Glove too in the
Did,
PL. But we're gonna
Big
jump.
yeah.
We're gonna jump after to the PL. But more Italian news, and my friend Juventus with their 9th Scudetto. Is that
9th in a row.
9th in a row Scudetto? So congratulations to Juventus. 2-0 win over Sampdoria.
It's about time. After that performance, they had several opportunities to like close it down even more than what they have right now. Against Udine last game too was. I mean, they were desperate too. I believe they're floating above relegation, so they want to get the 3 points as much as they can. So they don't have to stress about that too. But it was a great performance overall during that game. I guess Sadi sent the message to my guy. It's now or never because you're gonna end the season off with. I believe they're playing Roma. So if they have to come down to that, Roma's no pushover team. So I'm happy they got it done against a weaker Sampdoria. For sure. I don't know what your thoughts on the game was, JC.
It's very unfortunate though, the way that they've ended the season. Such a strong start, decent middle. The end has just been terrible. Unfortunate. Atalanta truly showed that they were the best team in Italy this season. And as much of a Juve fan as I am, I would say that this is probably the worst Juve team to win the Scudetto in the last 9 years.
So
100%.
I was mentioning something like that last episode with Anthony, saying for a team to finish first place with 2 games in hand and having 4 losses in the season, it's a lot of losses, right? And I don't know how many draws they have too, but it's a lot of points that are dropped.
Yeah.
For a championship team, it seems like the rest of the table kind of like fell off also, and they just happened to get the upper hand, you know?
That's exactly what happened. It was, everybody was crawling over the finish line at this point. There was nobody that was really impressive except for Atalanta.
Yeah.
Milan had a bit of a resurgence as well. And Sassuolo, since the break, has also been amazing.
Fantastic, yeah.
Crazy. Just like
I was telling you guys last episode too, Sassuolo since the restart have been.
they haven't lost a game, no? Or like there was some crazy statistic that
Tommy
they
had brought it up
Guys,
last
it was 16 straight games unbeaten.
unbeaten for 16.
for a
For a
mid-table team like Sassuolo. That's
Berardi and Caputo this season are
Ridiculous.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. That's like in comparison to PL, that's like an Everton doing that, right?
it's like a Bournemouth doing that.
No, not Bournemouth. Right?
Sassuolo, yeah, they're very.
Because we always compare Everton for some
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Everton's
It's always like the
No, the Everton of Serie A is Fiorentina.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Absolutely.
That's the
That's the actual comparison.
of the Italian league. But I mean, even for Sadi, it was a great story for him. Like we were gonna mention it too, but
for sure.
he started off like basically managing fucking like Italy's 8th division, and then he was a banker at one point. He quit it to commit to coaching, and at one point in 1999 he was coaching 5th division. Then slowly made his way upwards, and then afterwards he got promoted to Serie A. Eventually, he got promoted to Serie A with Empoli from Serie B.
Yeah.
And he finished runner-up with Napoli once upon a time, and now he's champion of Italy. So
It's hard to talk him down.
He won a Europa League with Chelsea.
Right. That's I think
I think that's like one of his major trophies that
he was bragging about. He's like, not many managers can say that they won a European trophy and a league trophy at the same time.
And he finished, and I believe that season too, he finished third with Chelsea, City, Liverpool.
Oh yeah,
but
it's very possible I'm wrong, but I could almost.
I think he feels so much more proud of himself too because there's not many coaches. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think there's any coaches who don't like. You can't usually coach unless you've played.
So that's something I wanted to bring up.
Very impressive.
He's not. He hasn't played professional soccer before.
Yeah.
He's only been a professional manager, if you want to call it.
Right.
Yeah.
Whereas most top tier coaches that we see now have had some sort of
professional soccer before,
regardless if they were good or not.
That's it. That's
like if you see Jurgen didn't really have
an
outstanding career.
But he played the sport.
But he played the sport in Germany or wherever the hell he played. I'm not too
that
sure.
is definitely for me a bit more impressive that he's been able to understand the game so well.
But you know what? He's put in the work. He's put in the work. He's put in the years. He's put in the years.
Eighth.
Yeah, he's put in the cigarettes too, and
you know.
Yeah, no.
You can just picture him punching in numbers at a bank with a cigarette hanging in his mouth.
Have you guys seen him sucking the nicotine out
Yeah.
of his ears?
No,
The guy's a nicotine addict.
When they were celebrating in the dressing room, he was protecting his cig.
Yeah.
When the Quadrado was rubbing
Shaving cream
all over his head and shit.
Hey, look, man.
Hilarious.
If they get the necessary acquisitions in the summer that maybe he really wants, obviously in the midfield, he might make another run. It's Juventus, the ninth straight Scudetto this year. They're obviously going to be in the top 3 next year. Ronaldo's going to be there too still. So
yeah, different manager, different players, different system. At the end of the day, we got it done.
Yep.
The other teams failed to take advantage, and that's, like I said, several times.
Guys, I was literally just going to say the story for me this year is my headline would be what could have been, and I would put a picture of Lazio's team.
Lazio and Inter, both of them.
But
Inter and Atalanta.
But Inter dropped off before Lazio did. Lazio only just when they came back from the restart, they were just gone. But right before the restart, Inter was dropping off a bit, but Lazio kept it.
Yeah.
Until
they were holding
COVID.
their ground. Yeah. 100%.
Don't forget, until the day before Serie A stopped, Lazio was actually at the top of the table.
They were first.
Yes,
Facts.
it was because they had a game in hand.
Yeah.
But they were still at the top of
there.
the table, right?
So even if you do have a game at hand, there's that psychological effect that we're up top. Juve's looking at that like, ooh, okay, we gotta do something, you know. But at the end of the day, Chiro kind of had like a little dry spell, let's just say. But as of recent, he's back to his goal-scoring ways.
34 in the season.
34, Ronaldo 31, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah.
With 2 games left of the season. Do I stand corrected?
Absolutely. Definitely stand erected the season that he's had, man.
Yeah.
And that erection fucking started with that penalty shot he scored against Juve. So that was, it was. I mean, good for him because he needed the monkey off his back. To be honest with you, like,
Yeah, absolutely.
Because he flatlined like the rest of the team too.
Yeah.
But my argument was, like I told you guys a few episodes ago, was that they have no depth.
Yep.
They have their starting 11 coming off the bench.
Nothing.
He has the support from SMS, Luis Alberto, and company, but coming off the bench has no help. You know, so that's probably as to why, like, among the reasons, and like along with momentum being lost, like Leicester too.
Man.
You know,
Yeah, we'll get into that.
Leicester, if not, I think Leicester's even a worse fall than Lazio, if I'm being honest.
Of course.
And we'll get into that after about how many points they were. But anyways.
So it's a pretty fair comparison.
Absolutely.
Just a quick mention to Romelu Lukaku with 23 goals so far in the season. Probably his career best, if not, I'm not 100% sure. But what a turnaround for his career, considering that he was just getting fucking bashed at United last season. Didn't have the confidence, didn't have the.
And I was even gonna say when he got bashed on social media about his weight.
Oh, that was another thing too.
But you know what? In a way, I'm happy that happened because it turned on something. It switched something in him.
Yeah, there was like a spark.
And after that, he just came flying after that.
Also, I really do believe that Antonio Conte does bring out the best out of the players, especially if it's the
How can you not with that passion, man? I want to die on the field for that coach.
I told you guys,
100%.
The man made Emanuele Giaccherini look like fucking Ronaldo. Yeah,
it's ridiculous. Bro, how did Emanuele Giaccherini?
I don't
the
even
guy
know what that is, bro.
5'1".
I don't even know what that is. I'll be
How
honest
does he
with
look like Messi in his prime? The way that he was passing the ball, the way that he was weaving through defenses, did not make any sense. The man is a god when it comes to players that are just on the cusp. Just good enough to play in the league, he will make you look like a star.
It's incredible.
His problem is when it comes to handling big egos.
Okay.
That's his problem, man.
That's his weakness.
Yeah, and for my personal, as a Chelsea fan, I could say that we experienced that too, because one of the major things before having Tammy and Werner and Giroud and all of these players was, for me, it was getting rid of Diego Costa, and having Conte is what started that problem. And I thought they should have kept him because it was probably his peak of his career. Diego Costa, his first season in the PL, and then second season, that's when he came in, and he still did pretty good. Yeah. But it was the whole
Thanks for the season. Thanks for the season.
Yeah, but it was the whole like you said, big ego. Diego Costa, he's a loudmouth. Yeah.
He doesn't take shit. That's the thing.
So I can understand when you say that.
But Diego Costa has seen some shit. That's
100%.
For sure.
But do you remember if he had any issues with a specific Juve player at his time?
He had tons. Well, I mean, once again, we'll say Milos Krasic was one of them. That was Juve's big signing. Just think how far we've come, right?
Right.
Milos Krasic was considered a big Juve signing 8 years ago.
Okay.
Now it's at nothing. But still, same with Nicolas Bentner as well. There were a bunch of players that just did not jive with Conte.
Lord Bentner.
Absolutely. Bentner shortly afterwards did get into a car crash, driving drunk, but at the same time, Conte was the one that was the driving force behind everything. Cannot manage any big egos. He needs to be the biggest ego in the room.
But you know what? There's a lot. I wouldn't say he's the only coach that has that problem.
Definitely.
And I'm looking at Tom.
Mourinho is number one on that list.
Yeah, but when did Conte coach for Juventus?
2011 until
2014. The first 3 seasons.
Okay, so it was,
and then Allegri came in from Milan.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when Pogba left right after, no?
2 seasons later.
So Allegri did coach Pogba for a bit.
For 2 seasons.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
This is why I have him on.
For sure.
All right. I don't have anything else for Serie A.
I'm going to praise AC Milan again.
Oh, yeah.
For leapfrogging Napoli. And I'm going to say it. The Zlatan effect. He comes out, people questioning his retirement. He's like, I'm only getting started. And that's why I'm excited to see how next season is going to be. And that, what's the manager's name? Pioli?
Stefano Pioli.
Yeah, I'm so happy he's re-signing until 2022. I'm happy Ragnarok's staying at RB Leipzig. Keep this team together and watch. With the right signings now, AC Milan's going to be dangerous next season.
They're super young, man. They're super young, and they had a massive weekend against Atalanta. Yep. Like JC said, the best team this year in terms of performance-wise, game in and game out, and they tied them.
Yep.
So they're definitely another force to watch out for next season, bro. Yep. It's legit looking like old Serie A, where like every single one of these teams are able to win it all.
I'm liking it. Yeah, it's
I'm
fun.
Atalanta.
If they can hold on to Donnarumma too, I mean that's
Hold
always
on
He's
to
not moving.
He is not moving.
You don't think
The guy's already.
see.
The guy is, how old is he? 20, 21? He's not old,
No.
and he already has 200 appearances with AC Milan.
Okay. No, I was just saying that I don't know. Correct.
It's 21.
I don't even know if you guys remember this.
21.
I don't remember if the talks with PSG were before Keylor or after, but they were looking
Before.
at Donnarumma.
Before.
But it was probably
Before
before.
Keylor.
That's where I'm getting mixed up.
There was
Okay.
the talks with Real, the talks with PSG.
And then they ended up doing that switch.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So kudos to them for extending Pioli's contract to 2022.
So
a great decision on them because, like I mentioned last episode, where it would have been a poor decision to have them restart from zero with another manager, another system,
My God.
him getting to know different personalities, and them abiding by a system too.
Yeah.
It's always a change, and that's why I also credit to Lukaku for first season in a different league, different coach,
Not
different
that
players.
you're right, definitely.
And low-key, Alexis, bro. He hasn't been playing bad at all.
It's Conte.
He's starting to turn a little.
So I don't know what's gonna happen with him and Manu. If they're gonna bring him back, which I think it's looking like it might.
Why he's on loan?
He's on loan, yeah.
Yeah,
So
Lukaku they bought.
absolutely.
Yeah.
They got him. Lukaku's staying at Inter.
But Alexis
He's
was.
not Alexis' chapter is closed.
I think it is close.
I think it's signed, sealed.
Why would they want to take over that contract?
probably
Because they're moving on. It's a new team now.
No, I'm saying why would
the
Man
transfer
U?
fee. I don't know what they're
But
gonna
don't
ask for a
forget,
transfer fee.
right? It's a loan with an option to buy. So if they want to, if Inter does not pick up the option, he goes back to Man U.
So
And
they
then
have
it's
no
Man U's
choice.
problem.
So exactly, then it's Man U's
Right,
problem.
right.
It's up to Inter. It's not. Well, why does Man U? Why would Man U want him? It's would Inter want to buy them? It's Inter that has all the power in this situation.
If Inter were smart, and you guys can correct me if you guys have a different opinion, but if Inter were smart, I wouldn't take him just because of his contract and his salary and his wage demands.
I would say it depends because you look at a lot of PL teams with the money that they have, a lot of times they're willing to eat half the salary or a percentage of the salary if it gets them off the books and they're able to make some transfer money off of it.
I would have said yes to that before COVID, though.
Yeah. There's a huge, that's a huge
That's a
thing now.
huge,
Absolutely.
like, I literally put that in everything that I talk about because of how much it's affected big clubs as
Oh,
well.
no. If you look at every single player's transfer value, it's gone down between 10 to 20%.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Every
Absolutely.
single player, just because the purchasing power of every club has gone down. It's not the market correcting itself as it should, but we're almost getting there. If you look at it pre-Mbappe, we had a pretty linear curve with the way that the transfer fees were going up.
Yeah.
Ronaldo 94.
Yeah,
Bale,
exactly.
Yeah, 'cause before
100,
that was,
101, right? Somewhere in that range. Pogba 105. Everything was going up at an even pace.
Neymar screwed it up.
Neymar with 222.
Neymar's the one that screwed everything up.
And then Mbappe at 180, was it?
Yeah.
I think, around there.
I thought Mbappe
I think
It was a 30 million loan with 150 transfer. If
I think they had to pay like something like 100 mil up front and then the rest.
But like JC said, everything was going like this.
Yeah.
Then Neymar went to PSG, went like that. Then Mbappe went like this. Then Mbappe like that.
So you know what? Now you got me thinking. We're just going a little off track here.
Yeah.
So there's this whole thing about Barcelona trying to get Martinez for 120 mil and they don't want to budge and whatever. If you think of it, it's Barcelona's fault that Martinez is going for that much. Because if they would have never given up Neymar for 220 mil, it would have fucked
not
up the
Barca's
market.
fault.
It's not. Yeah, I agree. It's Neymar that really was like
Okay,
pushing
so,
to get out of
so
there.
maybe we'll put the fault
It's
on
Neymar. You have to
Don't
put
forget-
on him.
You have to point fingers at him.
Yeah.
Maybe Antonio would say something different, but it's on.
No, I
Don't
think
forget though, right? It was not Barca that negotiated that. That was the release clause that was in his contract, right? Barca did not negotiate that. PSG triggered the release clause.
Exactly. So who put the release clause in the beginning? It was them, Barcelona.
But now,
Yeah,
if you look at it, every single player has a higher release clause than there. You can fault Barca.
Just to keep them safe. Yeah, it makes sense.
Pjanic now has a 600 million euro release clause.
it's so
Shut
true.
the
Though.
fuck
Hey,
You can look this up.
he's right. He just reminded me that Real did the same exact thing with guys like Asensio and Isco.
Absolutely.
Benzema too, no?
No, Isco's a stupid number.
And Asensio
800 million, I think, for one of them. I'm not remembering which one.
Asensio has a ridiculous release
But the
clause.
reason for this is that in the Spanish league, in the Liga, it's a requirement that every player has a release clause in their contract.
Right.
Yeah. I
Regardless.
remember Antonio mentioning that.
Yeah. So because of that, you can fault Barca for putting too low of a number, but not for putting too high of a number. Now they've learned from that mistake.
That's
And then you
that's
have
another
to-
way of looking at it.
No,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
That's
But
a-
it
that was
makes
a
a
good
lot
point.
of sense. Yeah. I mean,
It's 700 million for Asensio.
700. Okay. Point is, it's
And then you
above.
point is, he's staying at Real. He ain't going anywhere.
Exactly. Well,
Absolutely
if Real wanted to, they could negotiate something, but nobody's ever gonna, trigger that 700 million release clause.
Because nobody can afford it anyway.
Exactly.
Again, that happened after that whole Neymar shit, which is why they were smart and they were able to lock him like that.
And then you have Timo Werner going for 50 release clause. He went from 600, 800 up, and then Werner.
But I think that was before everything happened.
Before he blew up also.
Yeah, exactly.
Before he became a name.
So just to go over the table for the Serie A,
Yeah.
just before we leave, obviously Juventus as champions, second place Inter with 76 points. Atalanta sitting third with 75. Lazio with fourth, 75 also, but the plus minus for the goals, the Atalanta has 51 and Lazio have 37. So, like we were saying before, Atalanta with, like the high goal scoring and like putting the ball in the back of the net kind of really helped
They
them.
played Torino twice. Wasn't it like 14-0 aggregate this season for them?
Something crazy like that.
Yeah, man. I mean, kudos to Lazio for, despite the bad restart, they clinched the Champions League. They will be in the Champions League next year, so kudos to them. Immobile 2 shy from beating Higuain's record of 36. He's at 34 goals now after scoring a hat-trick over the weekend. But like, I want to beg the question to you guys, and just like I want to see how he's going to perform on a bigger stage, because he has this trademark and this pattern that he tends not to perform in the big stages, like in Euro and for internationally. And so I'm curious to see how he does both internationally and in Champions League too.
I think maybe his career changed ever since the last time he put on an Italy jersey. Like, I don't know if he's like maturing, if his career is going the right way.
We were managed by Ventura, so that's probably.
But we've also, I think, even
Do not get me fucking started right now.
actually, maybe you're the best person maybe to ask that question about Immobile performing in, like, how he performs in Serie A versus how he performs with Italy.
I'll be honest with you. I never thought that he was given a fair chance outside of Serie A. As in, when he went to Dortmund, he had a few good games. He was dropped, then he wasn't able to recover. But he had what, a season?
Over there, it was very short
About a
stint.
season,
Short,
right?
yeah.
And even then, he still had over 10 goals in that one season with playing as little games as you can, coming off the bench most of the time. He performed as well as I think he could, given the fact that it was his first time outside of Italy. Same thing when he went to, was it Valencia or Sevilla? I'm blanking now. I think it was Valencia, right?
I didn't even know you went to Spain. I know you went to Dortmund.
It could have been Sevilla, maybe. I'm not sure, though.
Okay.
I'm sure it was
Real quick.
Sevilla, though.
I'll look it up, and also stat check for you before when you're saying about Pjanic, it's 400 million.
400. Okay.
Still ridiculous.
The point is, for a 30-year-old to have a
Yeah,
400 million
facts.
release clause, this would not have been something pre-Neymar.
Absolutely.
And Sevilla.
It's Sevilla.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. So even at Sevilla, right? Once again, Italian players outside of Serie A are known to get homesick, are known to not perform their best. So to give everybody a season or just less or more than a season, just about a season, it's going to obviously take some time to adapt.
It's not enough time.
Absolutely. It's not enough time. And I would also say that the systems that Italy has had over the past few years are not exactly striker friendly, right? Italy is known for defense. And we actually, funny enough, this generation of midfielders and wingers has been some of the best that we've seen in decades. So because of that, the actual strikers have taken a back seat. So somebody like Immobile, in my opinion, doesn't get a fair chance to show off his skills in Italy. Whether we're talking about the Mancini coach Italy right now, especially the Ventura coach Italy a couple of years back. Don't get me started about that, man.
Oh, bad. Yeah, okay. No, for sure. I think you're right, and I think that whereas with Lazio, they gave him more chances than the other clubs did, and he was there for I think now he's been there for 3-4 seasons.
He's been at Lazio since 2017. So yeah, about 3 seasons.
3 seasons, yeah. And he hit 29 goals. This is the second time I think he's hit that number or passed that number. So it's pretty impressive. And I think you're right in the sense where he needs more time in a sense, like in other areas. So either that's UCL or if that's Euro or if that's World, wherever it is. I think he has what it takes to perform at those levels for sure.
Speaking of Immobile, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but Immobile kind of got his breakout at that one season with Pescara. I'm not sure if you guys know who the 3 people at that Pescara team were.
No.
Pescara was a team in Serie B that scored tons of goals. I think they scored about 80 or 90 goals that season.
Wow, okay.
To get promotion to Serie A. And their 3 big stars were Marco Verratti, Immobile, and Insigne.
In the same fucking team?
In the same team, in a Serie B team.
Wow.
Yeah, they were all in their teens, early 20s.
I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Yeah, and at that point, Insigne was a Napoli player that was on loan to Pescara. You had Immobile, who was a Juve player, on loan to Pescara. Fun fact, if you guys didn't know, Immobile.
You're blowing my
was
mind right
I did
now.
not know
like-
that.
A Juve own player.
Yeah, okay.
Even Mattia Perin.
And Mattia Perin was also on the same team. That's correct.
That's the goalie,
Net,
correct? Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
And I did not know that. Well, I knew about Verratti and Insigne, but I didn't know they were there at the same time. It's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. And Immobile was capocannoniere of Serie B, now going to be capocannoniere of Serie A too.
Mm.
One of the very few people that can say
Yeah.
he's both.
I see him scoring a hat against Brescia next game.
Oh, he could definitely break the record. I think it's
I would
His to
love
lose.
to see him do it.
I think it's his to
Yeah.
lose.
Yeah.
Because the final game is to be a lot more tougher against Napoli.
He can still
But
do it.
you could probably maybe win against Napoli, but
penalty or something.
but the damage needs to be done like
Yeah.
next game if he wants to actually break Higuain's record. But we'll see. We'll find out.
All with time. Okay, so just to finish the table, because we got cut off, but it's
all good?
It's all good. We were learning some new pescado, whatever the
facts.
fuck.
Fish.
Yeah.
I apologize.
No,
I
bro,
thought I'd bring
man.
something to the table.
That was
Yeah, bro,
awesome.
that was great. man.
I had no idea.
Did not
Listen,
know any of
The
that.
viewers are learning and we're learning too.
There you go.
It's all educational purposes.
Read
So,
your table.
huh? Fuck out of here. Okay, so Roma sitting with on fifth with 64 points, and like you said, AC Milan leapfrogging Napoli sixth with 60 points, and relegation zone would be Lecce, Brescia, and Spal.
Okay. We'll see what happens with 2 games left, too, for sure.
2 games left, and yeah, we're gonna see. All right, guys. Premier League. The Premier League is finally over.
Mhm.
The 2 games that were remaining were played this week. Should we start with the champions, or are we over that?
So, what do you mean with the champions?
Liverpool.
Yeah.
I think we're over that. I think we
Yeah.
could talk to the listeners and the viewers about from third place and on.
Okay. Because I was gonna mention they did play Chelsea.
Okay.
And then there was that whole bust up between Jurgen Klopp and Frank Lampard. But if
I
you-
mean, bust
you-
up, man. I think it was like a regular fucking coaching spat that we've seen before with Mourinho, especially.
yeah.
And in this case, it wasn't even the head coach. It was fucking. It was Klopp's assistants who were being animals or acting like animals, I should say. And when they shouldn't be, especially Lampard, who should get nothing but respect from anybody.
The guy's won more trophies than that team as a player. I'm just saying.
And I'm sure you had that written down somewhere.
I didn't have it. I didn't need to have it written down.
Anyways, I don't know. If you want to talk about it, we can talk
I
about it.
don't want to. No, listen. I don't want to take anything away from Liverpool and what happened. Like you said, between the 2 teams. Obviously, it was during a game. There was a moment in the game where things were shifting into Chelsea's way.
A controversial foul
There was the
happened.
controversial foul that led to the free kick that
Led
Trent
to Trent scoring.
again, by the way.
Yep.
And Kepa. This fucking.
Oh, we're gonna get into Kepa. Don't
this
worry.
fucking.
You keep it PG, Jordan.
Huh?
Keep it PG.
This blood, yacht. No, I'm joking. Okay. So you know what? We'll shoot away from that. Second place, Man City.
Yep.
El Mago. David Silva playing his final game as a City player. 10 years. I
10
believe.
years, 13 trophies, and what a player! What he's done for that team is irreplaceable in that sense. He's done so much. We wouldn't be the team we are without him. That's for sure. And yeah, it's been an incredible career, and I can't wait to see where he's gonna go. I was talking with our friend Costa before, and I was predicting that he's gonna go to La Liga. But I don't know. A lot of people have different opinions on that, so we'll see what happens with him. But
So-
It makes sense. I mean, it makes no sense for him to go back to Spain. I don't really foresee him going anywhere else.
How old is he?
34.
34
Also
on a
goes
free transfer. Also,
he could still play, man. He could still play another 1 or 2 years.
Yeah.
He still has it in him.
And well, like you said it perfectly. What an incredible career he's had. You're not going to see midfielders like that, at least for a long time, with that elegance that Spanish team has had in general. Him, Iniesta, Xavi, etc. They had Fabregas as well. That elegance, that playmaking ability, that there's just can't be compared to anyone else.
Yeah.
It's incredible feat, man. Honestly, great career. I hope I wish him all the best because he's helped City win a lot of trophies and very happy for him.
And one thing I just wanted to say, one last thing about him that Anthony just reminded me of was that it was so much more impressive because he was such a small player and such a what's the word I'm looking for?
Physically demanding.
Exactly. In such a physically demanding league, that he was able to kind of like move around the way he did and move past the defenders, and that's what made him so special and so appreciated and so respected. And even Roy Keane, I saw a video like he had made a joke that he was overrated. And then everyone started laughing, and then he's like, no, he's like, listen, guys, he's like, this guy deserves to be in with the guys like Giggs, names like Giggs, like
he said that.
He said
that's a
Hall of Fame. He's Hall of Fame, bro.
That's a pretty big statement coming from him, coming from a hardcore Manchester United fan too.
He's
and the character that he is.
That's
too,
a very unbiased what's
opinion.
No, but what's the pundit? Very unbiased pundit that he is. So everyone respects his opinion. And hearing him say that, it was nice. It was cool.
For sure.
Yeah, that's why, man. You're not going to see intelligence like that anymore. Just that ability to thread the ball the way he did.
Yep.
You'll see it, but very rarely.
Very rarely, yeah.
In the Prem, at least, too.
Like all that class, that whole Hall of Fame class.
He's the package. He's the whole package.
Pirlo, Xavi, Nesta, like all of them, like Fabregas.
It's a generational midfield.
That's the perfect way to put it. Generational talent.
Generational talent that is slowly coming to an end because Pirlo retired, Iniesta, Xavi, and now El Mago is the next one.
And Bernardo and Foden both like have that left foot that he has, and I just hope they've learned a lot from him, and I'm sure they have.
For sure.
And I hope that as a City fan, I can see glimpses of his brilliance from those two players next season.
For sure. Well, speaking of threaded passing and brilliance, your boy.
Yes, absolutely.
KDB.
The greatest player right now.
In the world or in the PL?
In the world.
PL 100%.
PL 100%.
I will give you that.
But I'm just...
So now, I'm sorry to cut you guys off. Jordan Henderson won PFA.
Look, my take on Henderson is that, yes, he deserves it.
Why?
Just because of what he's done with the club and how loyal he's been in terms of... Don't forget, he was with them when they weren't winning anything. And there was a picture that was trending online where it showed a team of when he was first there, and everybody else is blacked out except for him because he was the only one that stayed. And don't forget, he's captained the team ever since Gerrard retired. He's captained the team. He's a huge reason why they perform so well.
If you say so.
You don't agree? Don't get me wrong. I was never a huge fan of Henderson. I just respect that he's a player who does his job. Maybe he's not the guy that gets the goals. Maybe he's not the guy that gets all the assists. But he does his job, and he captains the team very well, in my opinion.
He does. Mm-hmm. But the question
PFA
needs to be repeated again, like Player of the Year.
Player of the Year definitely goes to KDB. That's my pick, no matter what.
Do you think
unbiased too?
And they gave it before the season ended.
By the way, that was funny too.
Before that record got tied with Thierry Henry.
You're right.
Which I thought was a little
sketchy.
Because I was like, at first my opinion was like, okay, give it to Jordan Henderson. You know, he's the captain. Liverpool are on such a dominant run. You know, it's very historic for them too. You know, not winning the Premier League in 30 years and whatever, yada yada. And then
I agree with everything you said. Like, he's a super charismatic leader, full of energy, enthusiasm. He's fucking passionate. He hustles. You know, but like at the end of the day, like, are you awarding someone for being a good captain, bro? The way a captain should be.
100%.
And we're not going to award
They should have an award for Captain of the Year. I don't know, like.
Well, it depends, right? I mean, is PFA best player on the best team? If so, he's not the best player on his team. No. Is it the best player in the league? If so, he's not the best player in the league.
Right.
I don't see any metric by which he deserves it other than he captained the best team in the league.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
That's the only way to think of it. The only way.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I don't see any other metric by which you can say he deserves it.
No.
You're right, though.
And I think, sorry to cut you off, and I think the only reason why they gave it to him is because City were second, Kevin De Bruyne finished top assister, and Ederson got Golden Glove. So I think they kind of had to throw something in Liverpool's way. I don't know. And maybe it's just me. I don't know. Because there's a lot of politics involved too, you know?
Absolutely.
Pep was very salty though after it was announced because when Man City won the league, the PFA was given to a Liverpool player. So he was like, I don't understand it.
Who was it? It was
I think it was Salah.
It was probably Salah.
It was.
Oh yeah, the year. Yeah.
He had that outbreak season, whatever.
Yeah.
And I think he won goal of the year too, Salah.
Yeah, and it was on that scrap goal because
Against the Everton, like it was, or something.
It was though. No. If you
No,
saw
I believe
right,
it. It's
you
just
can
funny.
look that up.
It's just funny.
There
Yeah.
were so many better goals. He also won Champions League Goal of the Year off of a tap-in. But I'm not sure if you're aware. But
I remember like talking about it. I just don't like. I can't put the video in my head, but I remember talking about that. It wasn't a crazy goal.
we'll
They
look
gave
at it
to him.
afterwards.
Yeah.
It's an
Yeah.
average goal. Like
It's
there
a
were
goal you
much-
see almost every weekend.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let's just say. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're
But
talking
to
about.
get in conclusion, Kevin De Bruyne got absolutely robbed. That is the honest truth.
Easily.
And
And
it's a shame.
He made a statement with that last goal that he scored.
He did.
Oh my God.
2 goals and 1 assist in that game versus Norwich. It was a 5-0.
Relegated team.
Well, both the goals are actually phenomenal.
They're both
man.
phenomenal.
The first one was
Just insane.
the dangle and then the finesse shot outside of the box, top bins, Tim Krul.
No celebration, straight faces. Like just
He's always
Nothing
like that,
kinda-
though. I love that about him. He's
not always like
light
that.
work.
I'm telling you.
I've seen all the time. What are you talking about?
I'm telling you, bro. He celebrates, bro.
You know how I knew he was never like that? Like I told you before, against that goal against Chelsea, when he ripped it with his left, and you just see him celebrating like normal. When anybody else versus a team like Chelsea would have fucking danced over the fucking...
Well, maybe he has respect because he used to play for us.
light
he
work.
just has respect for everybody. That's how he is. You never see him celebrating over the norm. It's just,
Yeah.
it's the usual hand up in the air, celebrate.
Yo,
That's
high
it.
five to his teammates and that's
I'm
it.
just doing my job. The
That's why,
mailman
that's why I love him.
delivered.
That's why I love him so much, man.
Light work.
Light work. All right, Manchester United. And I said this when we gave our predictions. I said they would finish third, and they did.
Yep.
On top of Chelsea. They played Leicester, winning 2-0. Congratulations to them, man. Like, I don't...
I mean, let's give it to them in a sense where they finally made a good choice in the transfer window, and they bought Bruno Fernandes, who's been
The
game changer, like everybody.
And
has been
everything
saying.
else just followed.
Yep, absolutely. Then they're going to start to build around him, which is what they should have done.
Yeah. No injuries. People start coming back.
Yep.
But
Rashford.
were healthy from the restart. You know, so everything just fell in its path. You know, and they played great. Since
The
restart.
only thing people can say to make fun of them is that during the restart, I think they were facing some pretty easy teams. But the way I see it, it doesn't matter. Like, if you're performing as a team and you're battling for that top 3 spot and you get it, you deserve it. I'm sorry.
Bro, it's a long year, and they drop points against easy teams.
Yep.
So
Look at us. The reason why we're in fourth is because we drop points fucking every second game. You're losing to West Ham. You shouldn't be losing to West Ham. You're struggling against Crystal Palace. Okay, you know, like...
Yeah, no, I get it. That's why I can't take that away from them. They made top 3. They're in Champions League.
yeah,
Good for them. And if they can continue this eye for great players, because they have struggled in the past with getting the wrong players, but now with Bruno, it seems they're going in the right direction. I just hope that they stay in that for them.
And I guess the cherry on top for United fans would be Jesse Lingard.
Oh God! Don't get me
His
started.
farewell goal.
Is
His last goal last time wearing the jersey.
That's the last
just
fucking
you think
time
so?
he's wearing that.
Yeah, he's
jersey.
done. He's done.
You think they're getting rid of
Bro,
him?
you crazy? There's no room for him. This is the first time coming off the bench since when? When was the last time he came off the bench?
I saw a tweet. Okay,
Was it with the bets?
You're gonna laugh
Was it
at
with
this.
the bets?
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
It wasn't. It goes 2020. Zidane 0 goals. Ronaldo 0 goals. And then I think there was somebody else there, Maradona, so something stupid like that. And then they go Lingard 1 goal. You see him with this stupid smug face, and the person put 3 goats on the tweet. And for me that was incredible. And it goes to show that he's.
Did you see the goal?
He's fucking useless.
Did you see the goal?
The goal he fucked. Oh, Schmeichel.
Schmeichel, but
Handed him the goal.
he's like, here, you know what?
Last
End-
game.
And he's
man.
End of the
celebrating like a
season,
The
fucking
game was
tool.
lost at that point. I was watching. The game was lost. They were gonna do anything anyways.
Yeah, bro.
He does that stupid JL celebration. Stop.
Like, I don't know how this guy smashed Jennifer rooms. I have no idea, man. I have no idea.
It's because he's the British Januzaj.
Hey, I remember him. Hey, he's doing pretty good though for Sociedad. He's doing well.
Think
He's doing well
about
for
it.
himself.
What could have been?
What
What could have been.
In all seriousness, they're all loving it, playing for Oli.
Yeah.
He's handling that team well. All the youngsters, so close to him, close to the team, and they're in Champions League next year.
Yeah, he definitely deserves respect though.
Is their season over now? Like they don't have any other games.
No, they're done.
They're done because
They're
they're out of
done
Champions
because
League.
they're out of
They're FA.
And it's just Serie A that's left. And Champions League, obviously.
Well, City has left. There's 2 games left for City. That's
And
going to
well,
finish.
Chelsea still got to
and
play.
then Champions League that comes back.
Oh yeah,
obviously.
FA, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
We forgot about that.
FA.
You guys better fucking win.
Well,
Yeah.
I want to make it clear one last time on the pod. I know I said it last time, but I am rooting for Arsenal to win.
why is this?
For
For
Arteta,
You
specifically.
know what? I
Playing well, man.
Yeah.
Playing pretty decent.
don't have anything against you for saying that
Okay.
because I actually respect a guy like him
Mhm.
who brings. He's a very serious person, and you see that he has the passion and the desire to do well
Yep.
with the group of players that he has. It's like we said before. He just needs time.
Yep.
And you know what? If he does end up winning, kudos to him. 6 months in and silverware, amazing.
And a spot in the
Europa.
Europa League, right?
Yeah.
But if they win, they go straight to Europa. Is that the case?
Yes, they
Okay,
go straight to group stages.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if they lose, they have nothing.
Okay.
All right. So 4th place, Chelsea. Like I said, winning important. It was like not a do or die, but it was a good way to end the season. 2-0 against Wolves. Wolves really they were really flat, and Chelsea too. They weren't too hot. It just we managed to get 2 goals before the half.
You got the job done.
We got the job done, and now it's just a matter of time to collect all of the rest of the players.
Can we remind everybody how freaked out we were when we saw the lineup for Chelsea?
Freaked out.
Kepa.
Oh, that man's is out, bro.
And Lampard, and like I was telling you guys before, Lampard has serious balls to drop their $80 million goalkeeper at the end of the season, last game, when you need the win to make Champions League, and he drops him for Willy Caballero, who played great. He made the important saves when he had to.
There wasn't any real threat,
But when
to be honest.
he had to
but he
make-
was there.
he was there.
He was there. He got the shutout. There wasn't really a threat, like I
Yeah.
said. Jimenez wasn't really there. They didn't really allow him to
he
do
got
anything.
the job done. He got the clean sheet.
Traore came on at the half, didn't really do anything. So the game was shut down in the middle of the park for both ends. So
It just, for me, that said a lot about Lampard. And I
Listen.
had so much respect for him before,
Yeah.
and seeing that, I was like, this guy's...
because the club
guy's
is
crazy.
backing him.
Yeah.
Because the club knows that a player like him has brought success to the club. Right? They know what he's about. He played for the team for 13 years, and now he's back managing. So they know this guy's not gonna fuck around. You know?
But the pressure is on him now, though. Abramovich just spent all kinds of money on players. Yes,
Not a whole lot though.
Well, I mean, if Havertz comes,
It's another.
it's another 80 on top of the 50, on top of the 40 or 30 from Ziyech,
And if you go for another goalie,
and you go for another
You
goalie.
need center backs.
center
and a
back.
left back.
But you know what I'm trying to say is that yes, it's great. You guys made top 4. It's a great achievement for him. But the real test is next season. Abramovich is going to be looking at him, and he's going to be telling him, "I just spent all this money for you.
Oh no, 100%.
You need to
I
get-
do not disagree.
Not
with
top
you.
4, top 3. You got to be even
No,
better
no,
next season.
100%.
So the-
100%.
The pressure's on.
Guaranteed, there has to be silverware next year
Absolutely.
for Chelsea. Guaranteed,
Absolutely.
whether it be FA, Premier League, or Champions League. Guaranteed.
Yep.
Guaranteed.
I'm just saying the pressure is on now for him, and I hope
I don't think he looks at it as pressure. I think he, like I said, he's very focused. Him too. He's a coach also that like you just see it, you feel it. You know what I mean? Like good things are coming.
Yeah, for sure.
Because he's willing to work with the team, work with the players that he has, and really go for it. Because that's how he was as a player.
Speaking of Lampard, still, I saw a post and they were showing like who should get Coach of the Year, and I really believe that he gets it. And the only reason I give it to him over everybody else is because of the transfer ban.
Yeah, lost their
And-
best
and-
player.
They lost their best player, and he didn't have many options to work with, and he made it work when he brought people back from loan, Mason Mount, Tammy Abraham. Klopp, is the obvious choice because they finally won a fucking Prem after 30 years. But if you were to look at everything and all the criterias, I really believe that Lampard takes it over him. I don't know if you guys want to comment on that.
I agree, but again, you're gonna have to give it to the champs. Liverpool winning their first.
And Klopp has done a lot.
Oh yeah, I'm not taking anything away from Klopp. Amazing. Like the project, they really believed in him. He even said it himself. There was like an interview going around. He said it would take him 5 years, and
they did it.
And they did it. So kudos to them.
Yeah.
All right.
Before we
for sure, bro.
I just have one other thing to say.
Go ahead, man.
Something for George, actually.
Yeah.
It's Chelsea related.
Go ahead.
Now that Abramovich hasn't been in England for 2 years, he's wanted for corruption.
Yeah.
Is he going to be selling the club? Do we have any more information on that?
I have no idea. Because I heard about those rumors like maybe 6 months ago.
Yeah.
There was like that whole thing with his visa.
Exactly.
Like, not being able
visa
to
was
work.
not valid anymore because...
Not being able to work in the UK and whatnot. There was like this
I
whole
didn't know
thing.
about this.
But a lot of this got like swept under the carpet.
Russian oligarchs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Listen, I mean, for him, it is a business, Like at the end of the day, what he does is what he does. He supported I can't thank him enough because without him, he's put our club on the map.
Mm-hmm.
So
definitely.
Very
I
true.
mean, he is the one that pumped all the money into Chelsea.
he got Mourinho, he got Didier Drogba, the Lampards, the Terrys, all those players, like those standout players that make Chelsea. It's because of him, So
Yeah.
I'm just
so
curious.
I don't know what's gonna happen. I couldn't really tell you because I haven't really heard anything. The only thing that we've been hearing from fucking Chelsea is when Kai Havertz is gonna sign the deal.
Okay.
That's the talk of the week.
I haven't heard anything in months about that but at the same time, that was the thing that was really intriguing to me was how is an owner having his visa expire and they deny him because they say, well, you're part of a corruption scandal, we can't have you come. And he goes, well, I have billions and billions of dollars pumped into your economy. And they say, well, sorry, we're still not letting you back into the country.
But this was like before COVID.
Yeah, it was pre-COVID. It was, yeah.
So I'm telling you, maybe with COVID, they might.
It's possible.
Because like you said, he's had billions or what ridiculous amounts of money pumped into the economy, and every economy now around the world is just kind of like struggling with this whole COVID thing. So I'm sure they're gonna let it slip. And
Everyone is trying to find a solution somewhere, like regardless of where it's coming from. They're trying to find something that works. So if they let that one slide, you don't know.
Well, we'll see. All with time.
We'll
Listen,
see.
they got hit with the fucking transfer ban. That was like a huge fucking thing for Chelsea. I don't want anything else bad happening to my club.
Yeah. Money talks and also Molotovs to the head too. So
yeah, there you go.
See what happens.
All right, 5th place, Leicester. Again, I think we could all say it at once. Shit.
Hey man, like I was gonna say before, and I'll say it now. We read a stat before online that said that Leicester in January were 14 points clear of Manchester United. In January.
So 6 months ago.
It's the definition of deflated, man.
That is, it's tough to talk about. I was literally for like 10 episodes, I was saying they were going to lock down that third spot. They had it.
They had the third. Yeah.
That was theirs. If they didn't break off, that was theirs.
Yeah.
It was theirs, man.
And they just dropped it off. For me, it's super. Brendan Rodgers was doing something incredible with that club. He was bringing them back to the old Leicester, if you want to say that.
To bring them back to Champions League.
Bringing back the Champions League, Yep. To get a second chance at that too, because they really fell off when they reached Champions League the first time because they weren't ready, obviously, after that magical season in the PL. But they could have had another shot at this, especially with Jamie Vardy still playing the way he is. And speaking of him, he won the Golden Boot.
I think that's one positive outlook to look at the team with Leicester. Jamie Vardy being, I think, the oldest Golden Boot
winner.
Golden Boot winner. Thank you. I mean, congratulations to him. Ever since he's been in the Premier League, he has shown that
Consistency. Every single season.
that he's lethal.
Yep.
And,
Yep.
and the record since the restart was
1 win, no?
2 wins,
Or 2.
Tough.
3 ties, 5 losses.
So do
That's
we call
rough.
it pulling a Leicester or pulling a Lazio?
Pulling a Leicester.
I think pulling a Leicester
Because
more than
I
Lazio.
think, Leicester really dropped it, man. Like, it was bad. Like, they had the third spot was theirs by a mile.
They were flying high.
Yeah.
G.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you want to say something?
No.
One last thing that we found out that Anthony brought to our attention earlier this morning for
Breaking
Leicester.
Yes.
Good news for them. James Maddison is a really, really close to signing a new deal. 4 years worth 95,000 a week. Right?
That's why I haven't gone on concrete source. There's a few verified
Right.
random
I saw it
sources
online
from,
too.
From these verified accounts on Twitter.
Yeah.
But also, I want to bring up too for the Prem how the clubs that are just came out today that they're going to look into it and a decision is going to be made August 6th about how the 4 PL clubs that are still in European competition are going to be given extra time off
Okay.
for an extra 30 days. Since let's say Chelsea make the final or City make the final, or who else is in Europe?
United's still there, yep.
And Wolves.
And Wolves probably.
Sorry, that's the 4th one. And yeah, it's a great decision. I don't know what you guys think about it too.
I think Klopp and Guardiola are smiling from ear to ear
Yeah.
hearing that news,
It's great,
because
man.
they've been the two that have complained about scheduling for 2-3 years. They've been now nonstop.
So it would be that the season is scheduled to restart on the 12th of September, so they would restart on the 22nd
Well,
of September,
they would literally push back everybody. I thought it was just them.
which is then.
No, but you're saying that the league would restart on the, I think
They would
start on the 26th, but
on
the league would
22nd.
start on the 12th still.
12th, yeah.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
So like your Evertons, your fucking Tottenham.
That's all you're gonna see on the first day if that happens. If they
Yeah.
agree to that.
if they agree to it. Cool.
It's a great decision on them to recognize how players are fatigued and
100%. They haven't stopped since the restart.
that's it.
Well,
It's every 3 days.
So a lot of games, short amount of time.
And I never, by the way, when I was making predictions and comments and whatever not after COVID hit and when the restart started, I never once took in the account how the 3 days or a game every 3 days would affect the players. You know what I mean? And you saw that with a lot of results too. Some results you're looking at the game and you're like, how the fuck did this happen? But it's because of fatigue sometimes,
That's why they introduced the 5 substitutions,
which I love. by
and
the way.
they're keeping it too.
I love
Good.
that. A lot of people don't like it, but I personally, I love the idea.
So kudos to them again for recognizing that the players are fucking tired.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they deserve the time off a bit more.
And like we've said countless times on the pod after COVID hit, that they're starting to see things that they didn't see before, and them making real changes like this is one of the solutions to problems. So,
hopefully they do the same thing with VAR.
For what I was about to say.
oh man,
Get rid
that's
of
a
VAR.
nice little addition, but please don't get into that.
We're not getting into
No, no,
VAR.
no,
We've been talking about it all fucking season. We're just gonna
Done
continue
that
with
stupidity.
Tottenham and Mourinho. So when Mourinho grabbed Tottenham, they were 14th,
Yeah.
and now they're 6th.
Yeah.
6th. Sorry.
Yeah.
Starting to sound
Stats wise, since the restart, we've been the best team in the league. Stats wise, like for points, wins, and goals for. So I'm just saying, like I said, you give Marino a healthy team. I know, I'm probably sound like a broken record,
But you have every right to say it though.
But as soon as he had all of his pieces together, we've only lost once, won 5, tied 3. That's what I'm saying. Now you give him the summer transfer window to sell players that don't fit, because Mourinho takes him a couple games to know who's in, who's out. So summer transfer window, people are going to leave, people are going to come in.
Yeah.
And I just want to see him, like I told you, George, before we started, Mourinho said, I want to start a season when everyone's at 0. Even playing field.
And you need a backup number 9
Yeah.
for Harrison.
Yeah. Like I said,
Fuck.
and it's looking like Wilson. So if that happens,
Good enough.
if it's not
Fine.
him, it's someone else.
It's
Just
fine.
someone has to, because when Kane got injured, you put Lucas striker, it
Yeah,
didn't
but-
work. You put Son striker, it worked, but not as good as Kane up top.
Not the same, man.
But that's my problem with them, is that like when Kane goes down, they say that they don't have anybody, but it's because they didn't get anybody. So you can't use that as an excuse when you're a Tottenham. Like, I'm not saying you specifically, but I'm saying I've seen fans where they'll use that excuse, or even Mourinho himself. But like, you didn't get a backup number 9. So how can you use that excuse?
Well, we did have one. We had Llorente, and we sold him.
A 32-year-old Llorente, but I mean,
No. Even when he was there, when he was there, he beat. He was the reason why we beat you guys in the Champions League. He was always lethal for games that we needed to win. He played his part. I know he's 33, whatever he is, but he was there. He was clinical, and ever since we lost Llorente, look what happens now when we don't have a backup. It takes one player, an extra bench player. Like all the players that we got is all mids. Kane hasn't had a solid backup since he started.
we'll see if Levy gives him the transfer.
That's the whole
financial
whole
backing.
thing.
Like I said, my backup is there's no way Mourinho signs with us without getting that guarantee from Levy.
The financial backing.
Because his last team he went for was Man U, and he had nothing. No financial, nothing. You're not buying anyone.
What are you talking about? He bought like all kinds of players.
No, but I meant his last season. No, his last season.
No, but he didn't get the players that he wanted. That was the problem.
We have
He had
nothing.
no say.
We have nothing. You remember?
He had no say, Mourinho.
Yeah, but bro, they spent like 400 million
On the
on
wrong players that were not on him.
Okay, so it's not entirely his fault.
But I will agree and meet you halfway that he does whine a lot when technically like he should make it work in a sense, or he could try to make it work as best as he could. But look, like I said, with Tottenham, if this is the right club for him, and he gets the financial backing, which I don't know how he's going to get it when he gets paid 20 mil a season. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I'm sure it's part of the agreement. I'm willing to put
I'd
money
be
on it.
surprised.
He would, like you said, he wouldn't.
He
He's
wouldn't
not
sign.
stupid.
Because he was so frustrated at United that he didn't buy the players that he wanted. I'll tell you the list now of who we bought. In 2016, it was Bailly.
Eric Bailly.
Mourinho talking over here.
Yeah.
Legend.
I have Eric Bailly,
Yeah.
who unfortunately is a lemon. Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Henrik Mkhitaryan, ironically enough, Paul Pogba in 2016. But sorry, this was the biggest Mourinho signing, so expectation was extremely high. And,
I mean, that's
Lindelof.
a pretty. Okay, fuck Lindelof.
This was 2017, so I'm not too sure if it's.
But Bailly and Lindelof, that's one of those two guys are starting.
Yes, Bailly specifically, but Bailly, like he just finished saying, he ended up being a lemon, which is why he never worked out in the back.
And Lindelof too, he's nothing great.
Spent
nothing great.
370 million.
Yeah, see, almost 400.
But again, I understood that from what I understood, but after reading article after article and how Mourinho was acting about transfers, was that a lot of or half of those players weren't the people that he wanted specifically.
But you know what? Every fucking coach can say that. I'm sorry, because even we've had Pep say it too. Like they got
Pep's never had that problem. Pep has it in his contract where it's his team. He builds the project that he wants with the players that he wants. Klopp, same thing.
But I remember seeing a video like he was complaining like, oh, like we wanted this player, we couldn't get him. We wanted that player, we couldn't get him, and they settled for other players.
That's why I felt so bad for Pochettino. The guy's an amazing manager. Couldn't build the team that he wanted.
He bought Lukaku too.
Oh shit, it's true, eh? He was there when
He said he wasn't a fan of him at Chelsea, but paid 75 million to be reunited with him at Old Trafford in July.
So you know what? I feel like he makes too many excuses. We'll see now with Levy. Let's see what happens this summer. Don't forget, it's a 3 fucking month transfer window now. It's a long transfer window. So even if you don't see something in the first month with Tottenham, be patient because.
But like as much as we've all hated on Mourinho, I'm happy he's at the wheel. To be honest, with what's gonna happen, because if anyone knows how to win anything, it's him, along with Pep and all these managers. So I'm happy it's him. All my trust is in him now. If he has backing, which I know he does, if he builds a team that he wants to, and hopefully he changes the system with this counter-attack system, but we'll see.
What he needs to do for it to be a successful year, and Tommy will agree with me, is to just win an important cup. Whatever that is, just bring a cup to the club.
Europa.
They could do it.
No, of course they could do it.
Mourinho's done it. He did it with United.
He
He did it with United that Pogba was injured, Zlatan was injured, Shaw was injured, and one more player was injured, and they won the Europa. That's why I'm happy that he's.
Was that the season where he was like, it was my best season ever?
Yes.
He finished second and he won Europa.
And that's why I'm happy that he's there.
That was the Gea season that you were talking about.
Anyways, that's another
Oh,
guy.
and another thing, and I don't know if you guys know, obviously, like one of the biggest like center backs back then. I know he didn't get recognition because he played for Tottenham, but Ledley King is gonna be right behind Mourinho next season.
I have no idea who that is.
I've heard of the name. I can't put a face to it. I'm really sorry.
Yeah. No, he's a Tottenham legend, and yeah, so that's another transfer. That's another thing that he's changing now for his coaching staff.
Okay.
If you want to consider him a legend, but long serving.
He said Tottenham legend.
Let me finish what I have to say.
Let's talk about Jan Vertonghen now.
Okay.
So
He's been there for 8 years.
yeah,
Who's seen mid-table after mid-table, and then a big change when Pochettino came in to becoming an elite team in the league. So he's been there from the worst to the best now, and what a career he's been. The backbone of our team, on and off the pitch, stuff that he does for the city, for the team, fans, everything. What an all-around gem of a player, and it sucks to see him leave. But whichever team he lands on, very lucky to have him on
I
the
love
squad.
Vertonghen, and I hope City can pick him up. If it's a free transfer that we can grab him on, I would take him. He'd be a nice backup, nice bench player to have. He plays both center back and left back. I would love to have him.
It's a free agent, so
There you go.
All right. Looking at the relegation, that would be
Bournemouth, Norwich.
So Norwich,
Watford.
they've been relegated
For a while
now.
Yeah.
That was guaranteed. Now Watford and Bournemouth.
Like I said, Bournemouth, their team is gone. You have Ake, Fraser, and Callum Wilson off the top. Sia, sayonara, ciao.
Bournemouth had what it took to stay in the league. It's just they couldn't get it done early enough. Like they were dropping like really even the easy games versus like the bottom level teams. Like obviously they're bottom level too, but games like
the lower half teams.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you.
Like they were dropping the easy points when they should have picked them up, and other teams took advantage. And
well, they had a good run. I think they were in the PL for like 5 years.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah. I mean, obviously it sucks. You don't like if you do support Bournemouth or you like watching them. It does suck to see them get relegated, but I have a feeling that they'll be back.
The team that needed the relegation more than anything after what I saw before was Watford.
They needed it
in the sense where they need a rebuild.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Get rid of those old players that you have. Start rebuilding. Find a proper coach that's going to fit your team. Don't forget, this is their fourth coach that they have right now. He's not an official
just
head
the
coach,
assistant,
right? It's not an official but still, you know, it's like it's sad. It's the fourth guy behind the bench or in front of the bench this season. Like, something needs to change. You know what I mean? They need to find someone that sticks, you know, and come back maybe next year if they get lucky and promote. They'll come back.
And it's looking like Troy Deeney is going to want to look elsewhere now. I think at his age, I think he's 32.
Yeah.
He's not going to want to stay and fight another championship league just to be promoted again. I say he goes to another mid-table team and try to help them out.
And he's still fired up about playing because the reporter made a joke about him. He was asking about retirement, and he's like, "I'm not that old, you cheeky bastard." And he told the reporter. Yeah. So
he said that.
Yeah, he said that. So you could tell he still wants to play, you know, and he wants to play at the top level, and he can.
Yeah.
He could play in a team like Everton. He could play.
He's arguably their best player.
Yeah.
Watford.
I would agree that he's.
And
the
if he
best
stays
player.
in championship,
I don't think it's arguable. I think
it is.
He is right.
I
know you're gonna put Delafeu in there.
Delafeu, Pereira. Even their goalie, what's his name?
Foster?
Yeah.
He's been weak sometimes.
Before Deeney's done for the club, like he's
but that's the thing. But that's the thing, though.
He's done everything.
He's done a lot for the club.
Since day one.
So if they let him go, I mean, it wouldn't hurt. You know, he served his time. He wants to move. Yeah, he wants to move on.
Yeah.
And that's it. So speaking of moving on, I guess we'll get into transfers real quick.
Yeesh.
So like you said, Bournemouth.
They're offloading their stars right now.
Yeah, gone.
They need a restart. They got to get rid of
So
their
you're
top
saying
guys.
Callum Wilson
It's looking Callum Wilson for 10 mil.
to Tottenham?
He already had a talk with Marino.
Okay.
And I think Ake is gone to either City or Chelsea in the next coming weeks. Like, it's going to be soon.
I haven't seen anything for Chelsea. The only thing that we've been seeing is fucking Havertz and when he's going to put pen to paper. I don't know about City.
City, it's looking, as reported by The Guardian, it's looking like City are going to grab him for 35.
There you go.
But it's the Guardian.
But that's The Guardian.
But it's the Guardian.
And JC shaking his head. So when I see JC shaking his head like that, I know he's telling
He's
the
a more
truth.
reliable source than fucking The Guardian. By the way, George, think about transfer. So you see, you guys are getting Warner, Ziyech, Havertz. Don't you want to see now your defense changing and your goalie?
I can work with the defense. The goalie has to go first.
You can work with the defense?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Give them another year, bro. They can do something.
Yeah, but you're gonna lose. You might lose Emerson to Inter, so you're gonna need.
Emerson doesn't play.
Yeah, but you're gonna need a backup
depth
for Alonso. It's more about depth, right? If you're gonna play in all these competitions, Champions League, FA, Carabao,
Well,
Premier
we did
League,
it this year.
but you had the depth. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You're gonna lose some players that are not getting the playing time.
So there have been rumors, like I've mentioned before, of Tagliafico.
Yes,
They're looking at him, but like I said, the main fucking priority right now
is Havertz.
It's taking. It's not. I don't think it's taking long. I think they just wanted the season to finish, just to see if they guarantee Champions League. Because Havertz won Champions League. Yada yada yada. 80 mil. That's what it's looking like. Plus add-ons for Leverkusen, and it's just a matter of time. I think they're gonna sign it this week.
Because I'm starting to see signs, and I hope it doesn't go like this. Because I really like Chelsea. I don't want to see a Dortmund effect. How they score 5 and concede 4.
Or 6.
Or 6. Like, you know what I mean? like guaranteed, you guys are probably gonna have the most goals for next season.
I would hope so. If they manage to put it together.
If not, it's because of injuries or slip-ups. But you guys are gonna have probably the most goals for. But the goals against is what I'm worried about. That's why it's looking like Dortmund. They get Haaland. They get oh my god,
Julian Brandt.
They get Hazard. They have Sancho. Like, they're goal crazy, but they concede a lot.
So Manchester United have put a bid for Jadon Sancho at 98 million, and
they got rejected.
And it got rejected
as it should.
Right away.
As it should.
You got swiped left on Tinder, or right? Is it right, left? It's left. Yeah. I'm only asking you because I don't know. Maybe you.
No, never.
No.
Never.
I don't know why. I just. Anyways.
Oh my God, no! But I think Dortmund did the right thing because you should not give up Jadon Sancho for only 100
They're not
mil.
fucking budging.
No,
at all, and I don't blame them.
Coronavirus or not, even if the club took a bit of it, if you can hold out. I don't know what the fuck you just said. What did you just say?
Coronavirus.
Jesus Christ.
Shit's getting real.
But yeah, I just lost my train of fucking thought. But that's it. Go ahead, Sancho. Oh yeah. So
Coronavirus doesn't matter.
I think Dortmund should hold out for at least 120. And even at that, what they're doing with Haaland right now, like, why get rid of Sancho when you're going to get the best out of Haaland next season?
Thank you.
You're going to have him for a full season. Now, granted, we've spoken about this before. They lost Hakimi, who's a very important player to that system. Meunier has proven that he could play that 3-5-2 formation very well on the right side, but he does not have the same impact on the field as Hakimi does.
Going forward.
Yeah.
Which is like what he's what he's known for.
Well, they got what's available.
Right.
So, like I said, we've said it countless times. Fullbacks
they're so
scarce.
hard. Yeah, absolutely.
Quality ones are scarce. So that's why when you see people like Robertson come out of nowhere from like fucking Hull City,
it's nuts, and that's why Klopp deserves so much respect because he picked those two out. He picked Trent and Robertson out. You know, and he got them for absolutely nothing. They could easily both go for over 80 if they wanted to.
80, 100 mil, bro. Easily.
Right,
both
but that's the point.
because of their age and like what they've done in the past.
But that's why
2 years.
It goes to show that like it's also up to the scouts who needs to find this talent for absolutely nothing in terms of value and price.
It's tough, man.
And then I know it's tough. I'm just saying that, you know, if Klopp can do it, like fucking, you know, anybody else should be able to fucking look at their scouting team and be like, hey man, like.
So they probably saw the same thing with Meunier. And they saw him, okay, he's a decent talent.
He's old. He's a little on the older side though. I'm talking about a younger.
He's younger than Piszczek.
It's probably a quick fix.
He's younger than Piszczek?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Oh no,
Piszczek is
Piszczek's fucking 35. Yeah, Piszczek's
I
old.
think Meunier's like maybe 32, around that area.
A little older, I would think.
28.
28.
See, look.
Oh my God.
Yo,
so you know what? It's
Why
not.
did I think he was so much older?
Yeah, why?
I thought he was older too. I'm not gonna lie. I
you
thought
know
he was in the early 30s. So he still has something left in him.
He still got fucking
Prime years, man.
gas.
It's a great signing then.
Yeah.
Anyways, the bottom of the line, hold on to Sancho as fucking hard as you can, and hopefully we get to see him in a Dortmund jersey next season because those jerseys look sick.
So 2 players that are leaving Liverpool Adam Lallana.
Confirmed. Done deal.
He's going off to Brighton. And Dejan
Bitch
Lovren.
ass.
Went to Zenit.
He's going to Zenit.
Yeah.
So good for them. I mean,
They're probably gonna get a new center back with the money that they have to spend. Well, imagine an actual, real center back next to Van Dijk. You know,
That's what's scary, man.
Not
That's
what
why.
maybe.
That's why I don't agree with what you said before about Liverpool. And why don't you tell them what you said about Liverpool?
what the fuck did I say?
You know what you fucking
I
said.
can't remember. No, I say a lot of shit.
No,
bro.
no, you're right.
Tell me.
You said
Tell
that
me.
Liverpool
When
was
did,
going to
wait,
be as
wait,
dominant
whoa. When did I say this?
Before.
an hour ago.
Yes.
Okay.
Before we started recording, you said Liverpool weren't going to be as dominant next season.
Fucking watch and learn, ladies. and
No, stop it. If they get... Do you agree with this?
I don't think that they're going to be as dominant. They won't. I think that they're still going to
There's
be
a
very
curse,
good team.
bro. There's a fucking curse.
Think
bro.
about it. They were how many points up before the break? 20.
6? I don't quote me. At least 20.
Yeah, but hold on.
They
So
were
this-
in the mid-20s, right? They're not 8-9 games up, we'll say.
Okay.
How often has that ever happened before?
No, guaranteed. I understand what you're saying, but in terms of not being dominant with the team they have, that I don't agree with.
Not as dominant. I'm not saying not dominant.
But he's smiling because he knows how he said it, though.
Okay. I'm saying not as dominant. In other words, I'm
Bro,
saying...
I was saying they're gonna fall off. That's what I was
Okay.
saying.
Like, that's something
I'm
else.
saying the train was gonna get wrecked, bro.
But you agree that there's going to be... Okay, obviously, we can all agree here that there's going to be a way harder fight for the title
Absolutely,
next
I'm
season.
saying they're not going to be up by 26
No,
points.
It's
That's
gonna be
fair.
way closer.
It's
100%.
gonna be
Yeah,
exciting.
exactly.
It's gonna be exciting next
Right?
season.
They're still
How many
finishing
games
top 3.
After COVID, did they win? It was 1 or 2 games after, right? That they officially won?
Yeah, but
3, maybe at most 3.
Exactly.
Jay,
but the point
Jay,
is exactly that, right?
Jay, let's be honest. They knew they were winning the title.
Absolutely.
Like
Which is why there was a part of me that was hoping that the title would just get cancelled when we thought that they
Oh
were
my
there.
god, that would have been crazy.
That would have been hilarious.
I still strongly believe they have all the pieces. They haven't gotten rid of any important pieces. And they might even add to this extraordinary team. So for me, they're still going to finish top 3 next season, no question.
Oh, no. I'm not denying that at all. Like I said, I just don't think they will be as dominant, that they will win, that they'll be up by 9 games.
Listen, bro.
Or reach 99 points.
And and don't forget, this is another reason why they're this dominant is because teams like City, Chelsea, United,
They gave up the
Tottenham
easy points.
gave up so many easy points.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually.
The season before, look how close it was with you guys.
Yep.
You and even us, Chelsea too.
It was down by 1 point for you guys. Between
full
when you
house.
guys, when
We
you
won the
guys,
last game. We won the last game of the season against
that's what,
Brighton.
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. You know,
Yeah.
it's gonna come down to the wire. It ain't gonna be the
If
same.
if all the top teams stay healthy, it's gonna be a lot closer. It won't be this dominant because no one in Liverpool got injured for more than 2 games.
That's
It's
true.
ridiculous.
Very true.
Everyone stayed healthy. There's no injuries. Salah, Mane, Firmino, and Van Dijk. The only one that went down was Alisson.
I mean,
But what's his name came back
he-
and actually played solid.
Adrian, yeah.
He came in. Thank God he played solid for them.
I mean, City did it 2 seasons ago, where they finished with 100, and then they won it again with 98. So, I mean, there's no reason why Liverpool can't do it again. So,
No, I'm with you, man. I'm with you.
I'm just saying, there's like
especially if they get a center back,
I'm not saying
they should.
I'm saying the races would be closer. That's what I'm saying. I'm not
gonna be a way more
backing up.
competitive.
Exactly.
I'm not backing up the dominance. I'm backing up the table's gonna be a lot closer,
The
and a lot more
standings,
exciting. Because it wasn't exciting for the first place that won by January.
But you know what though? Like even though they knew everybody knew they were champions.
Yeah.
Dude,
From January.
it's still everybody still watched the last game of the season.
Because it was so exciting for the rest of the table.
Yeah, to see who
For
would
second,
finish
third, and fourth.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
Top
that
four.
for us
Third,
was
fourth,
super
fifth.
exciting. You know what I mean?
And it was a nail biter because Man U was in the mix, Leicester was falling off, Chelsea were struggling. You know, Man City.
And that's why I love to see Serie A more competitive now with the top 6, top 7 teams really like competing the way they are now. I love seeing
When
that.
you have a team like Sassuolo unbeaten in 17 games now, like if they
Yeah, but
continue this next season,
Yeah. I was just talking about the top 6 teams, but you're right though. Sassuolo coming out like that was definitely a huge push.
even Bundesliga you saw, it was a race from the beginning. It wasn't like
A lot of
Liga.
the things in Bundesliga though that upset us, especially all of us, was that teams like Mönchengladbach fell off a bit when Leipzig fell off. Dortmund when it was fucking their year this year.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Yeah. I got a couple of other things here. I don't think anything major. Victor Osimhen.
Osimhen, yeah.
Osimhen, sorry.
Yeah.
I always butcher the names. Is joining Napoli for 60 mil and a
Naples.
contract for until
Our
2025.
boy Fabrizio Romano, he confirmed that he went with the Here We Go.
Yeah. So for me, I just hope it's not another Nicolas Pepe story.
Absolutely.
That's the only thing I hope for.
I agree 110% with you.
That's the only thing I hope that
Let's hope.
I've never seen 1 minute of this guy play, so I can't comment or speculate about this guy. So
Me neither. So
I know nothing. Who is this guy? The first thing I saw was the price tag, and I go, who?
Yeah, from Lille.
from Lille.
From Lille.
Yeah.
From Lille. Lille.
From Lille.
He honestly has the same exact story like Nicolas Pepe, where he scored an incredible amount of goals in the Liga.
Mm-hmm.
But
Imagine
again,
it ended short this season.
it ended short too. But again, like George said, the thing that's in the back of your mind when it comes to Ligue 1 players, and especially from that team, is Nicolas Pepe, who became a flop
And like
the
I
second
said-
Lacazette.
Not from Lille, I meant from Ligue 1.
From
First
Ligue
from
1.
Ligue 1.
But
Switching
the
teams.
only thing I can say about Lacazette is that he was in the French league for a little while, and there was some sort of consistency before he left.
And I personally can't call Lacazette a flop.
Okay.
No, not so much.
I wouldn't call him Nicolas Pepe to me is a flop.
80 mil.
But Lacazette has shown moments of brilliance.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
That's the only thing I'll say on Lacazette.
And we said it before, Napoli's looking for a rebuild. He's 21, so it's a...
So I think we can all agree that we'll keep it short on Osimhen on our opinions because we haven't seen much. We'll wait till he joins Napoli, and next season we'll talk about it a lot more where we can see him play. And
I just have one thing to add, though, that when it comes to Liga and defenders going to Napoli, they actually do have a pretty great track record. Don't forget, Koulibaly was also an unknown when they signed him.
okay,
He went Liga to the Belgian league and then to Napoli, but he still
he still played from there.
From
Liga.
Liga all the way since he was a kid, right?
Okay.
Nobody knew who he was, and he developed into one of the best defenders in the world.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Anything is possible.
But Osimhen, he's a.
But the
Nigerian.
thing about him is that he's from the same team Pepe was, and I think that's why it sticks in everyone's
Yeah.
back of everyone's head.
He's a winger.
He's a striker.
He's a
Number
striker.
Striker.
And if they got rid of Milik, that's the reason. It's because they brought him
9,
in.
which apparently, as per Di Marzio, terms are agreed.
Yep.
With Juve. I don't know how I really feel about that. He's kind of injury prone right now. He's coming off the bench.
How do you
I
feel,
mean,
JC?
I mean, you can finish. There's no doubt. Of course, you can finish. But I think this is Juve we're talking about. We have Ronaldo on our team. Let's give him the best potential number 9s possible. You know what I mean?
Well,
But doesn't Sadi play with the cross tactic where he crossed it into the box most of the time? Don't you guys want someone big and strong in the box and to kind of the
Aerial
poacher?
threat.
The poacher?
I'll have you respond first. I have a lot to say about that.
Go for that. I've spoken enough
Let's
the
go,
last
JC.
30 episodes, 35 episodes.
So,
24.
unfortunately, yes, you are correct that we would want a bigger striker, somebody that can, actually, once he gets the service, which unfortunately this team has none of, except for Dybala, but we'll get that to the end of my rant. But if we have service, we would need that big, tall striker. Unfortunately, we don't have anybody that can provide that service right now. So because of that, we do need somebody a bit more creative, not just somebody that's going to finish, somebody that's going to help create as well. Unfortunately, the big weakness with this team is that we have nobody to create. Dybala comes off, nothing happens. Pjanic is a shell of himself. I have hopes for Arthur, not that high. I think he'll be fine if he can get his head on straight. Unfortunately, his attitude is an issue. His stamina is an issue. Fun fact for you guys, this is also a guy who missed, was it the last Clasico or the Clasico before? Because of his STD medication.
oh yeah, I remember reading
I didn't know
about that.
about
Yeah, there was something stupid that happened.
And so he's out partying instead of going to games. He's,
Brazil.
Bit of a loose cannon.
Exactly, yeah.
Bit of a
He's
loose cannon.
That
A Brazilian in Spain, when he has
he's
a little
a
itch.
young kid too.
He's
Young
23.
kid too in Italy.
But
I don't know, man.
I'm just saying, exactly.
No, but
He's
that-
gonna be
that-
23.
that's a good
I just
point,
hope
though.
that his head is screwed on straight, even now, right? I don't know if you guys heard, but he refused to play for Barca until he
I saw that
season.
on goal. Yeah.
Yeah, they've officially terminated his contract. Things are going sour.
He didn't even want to play in the Champions League,
He
man.
did not. I
Yeah.
hope that the kid has his head screwed on straight for next season. He's shown the ability to be excellent, exactly what we need. But we've also seen what bad attitude can do to players.
Okay.
And I don't know if Sarri's the type of manager to manage a type of player like that. Big
Well,
attitude.
Rabiot comes to mind when you talk about bad attitude. And how do you think that Sarri handled him throughout the season?
I think that Rabiot is a little child who is controlled by his mother.
Yes.
You guys know the story, right?
Well, his agent is his mother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, his agent is his mother,
Okay.
and she has always refused transfers because he is going to Barca. He's going to Barca. He's going to Barca. Barca doesn't want you. You're not going to Barca.
Really?
It's been like that for a decade.
So how did they make the transfer happen to Juventus? Like what?
He went on a free.
The free transfer.
But what happened was, they waited for his
He was at
contract to
PSG
run
for a
out.
while.
Yeah,
And he's not old,
25.
yeah.
bro. He's in his like prime years.
Roma wanted him for for a few years, we'll say 6 years ago. In about 2014, 2015, Roma was really pushing strong for this young and upcoming kid. But his mother goes, we're holding off for Barca. We're not transferring anywhere until Barca. And
Jesus
unfortunately,
Christ.
he had to leave on a free because
Barca didn't want him.
Barca didn't want him.
Barca
His
don't-
mother
they
pushed.
don't-
Barca's like, nah, son.
They don't want you.
So he's
Well, the problem with Barca too is the only thing that they fucking like buying is midfielders, and I'm pretty sure.
30-year-old.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure at that point too, their midfields are stacked. So a guy like Rabiot, you're like, no, okay, I'll pass.
That's why I didn't mind it. He was free. And I'm like,
Why not?
and since the restart, he's been fucking. I don't know what happened. He scored a line or two, and he's fucking turned it up, man.
Since the restart, he's been an excellent midfielder. I was hoping to sell him prior to the restart. Now it's looking like hold on to another season and see what we have in him. Right now, Bentancur was the only kind of solid that we had. If Rabiot shows whatever he's flashing right now, that it's not just a flash in the pan, that he can actually sustain it, and Arthur has his head screwed on straight, I can actually see that developing into a solid, well-rounded midfield.
Now, I want to ask you this question because we've been talking about Diesel like for the past 34 episodes. What do you want to change? But if you had control over this team, Juve, what's your next starting 11 next season?
Coming up with a whole 11. Wow. I mean, I would undo some of the moves that management had done, unfortunately. I mean, I wish that we could get Joao Cancelo back, but unfortunately that's not looking like the case at all.
Anthony has said that before too.
Yeah. I mean, Cuadrado's done
He's done
very
pretty
well.
Yeah, he's done pretty good.
You know, having an attacking midfielder come, drop back, and be a right back, you know, it's no easy feat. He's done as way better than I think either of us have expected, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, for a team that's
Juventus.
expecting, right?
Greatness and
Exactly. To not only be competing for the Champions League, right? I mean, if you look at the last 5 seasons, we've been one of the constants in the Champions League, right? Going as far, making 2 finals, yes, no wins, and that's what we're trying to change now, right? Is to finally get that win. We're constantly amongst the contenders, but we're never actually getting there. We need somebody that's going to be good enough to actually get to that next step. Sandro, unfortunately, has been shaky for the last few seasons, but once again, he's flashed world-class potential over the years, right? If he can regain his form, that's amazing.
his first 2 years was
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the elite has been sensational since, his rocky start. After that, he's been amazing.
And now you see it with him specifically is that like all he needed was just a bit of time to settle in.
That's why.
Completely agree.
But simple as this, why did you buy Ronaldo? If you're not going to provide him with players, you want to win Champions League final? You got Ronaldo, fantastic. But who are you providing the players with?
Correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's because the board believed that some of the players they had were maybe not as great as they thought. Douglas, maybe?
Well,
What's your opinion
no.
on him?
Costa is an amazing player when healthy. Problem is, throughout his career, he's shown he he'll be healthy for 8 games, then he'll be injured for 5. Healthy for 6 games, injured for 3. Right? He's been like that throughout his entire career.
Last year, he's missed maybe about 315 games.
Yeah.
As per Juventus news on
That's
Twitter.
ridiculous.
Yeah. So because of that, right? I mean, whenever he plays, most of the time, excellent. Problem is that
He's not there.
yeah, the best ability is availability, right? If you're not there,
And we're paying him $6 million a year.
exactly, right?
Do you close the door on him, or do you?
Yeah, at a
Do
certain
you
point, well,
take a
he's
chance
one
on
of the
him?
people I would
Look at-
say.
look
The only reason to close the door would be like I think, and I've told Ant this before. We've spoken about it. Is that like use the best out of Ronaldo now
Mhm.
As much as possible, man.
because I mean once he goes, I mean obviously there's other options that you can get, but like him specifically, like if you're trying to win a Champions League, if that's like the main,
Now's the window.
now's the
Yeah.
win, like now's the time to
We
do
have
it.
one more year from the window, and that's it. If it's not, it won't be this season. But if it happens, like next season is the last season. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, Ronaldo. I know everybody's saying he dropped off. He's done all this. He's had a fantastic season.
He has.
31 goals.
Absolutely.
If that's dropping off, then
Sign me up.
yeah.
No, for sure,
Right?
I agree.
What I'm saying is, so Ronaldo's shown that even though he's older, he's still either
Dominant.
in his prime or just slightly off. But even if he's not in his prime anymore, a Ronaldo slightly out of prime is still better than
Most players.
Most
what?
players.
Maybe
Yeah.
all but 4 or 5 players. I know you were saying KDB. I guess we'll put Messi above him too. Who else would you say would be above current Ronaldo right now? Would you put many players?
I wouldn't put many players.
As of right now, no.
Neymar.
Because Neymar, but we haven't really seen anything. Mbappe is like always like in the top.
He's floating, but him
But
too.
the thing now he's injured.
There's not many.
There's
players.
not much after that. I can't really think of anybody.
That's what I'm saying. Even Ronaldo, slightly out of prime, is one of the best 3
Absolutely.
to 5 players in the world.
Mhm.
So because
Maybe
of that,
Lewandowski.
I was
Oh,
gonna
I
say
would put him
Lewandowski.
Robert Lewandowski.
You
Tell
Jack,
him.
you Jack. You didn't have to say it, JC. You fucking.
Tell him. Tell
He was
him.
waiting for it. Fuck.
Tell him. I was waiting. I know he was gonna bring up. I'm like, say.
I think that's it. Yeah.
We'll see what happens in the window, but I know we're very excited about Kulusevski too. With the hustle that he brings, like Mandzukic did.
Absolutely. No.
Very similar, so it's gonna be. We'll see what happens.
yeah, we need those kind of players.
All right, guys. So I think with that we could end off episode 34. Thanks a lot for tuning in, JC. Thank you so much for coming in.
You're very welcome.
Thank you, bro.
It was great seeing you.
Thank you.
Love having you on here, and maybe we can have you on in the future. We'll see.
Definitely.
Special shout out to Manny, one of our good friends and who tunes in every week, I believe. Happy birthday to you, sir.
Birthday champ.
Happy
Hope
birthday,
you had
brother.
a wonderful birthday, and I hope you enjoy this podcast.
Absolutely, brother.
Peace out,
Thank you,
guys.
guys.
Ciao, guys.
How long was it?
An hour and a half.
Yeah, on the dot.
Yeah.
We made fantastic time, and then we got